As mentioned, Brad Keselowski is one of the first-time winners here at Nashville. He drove Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s '88 car to victory lane in June of 2008 to get his hands on the Guitar Trophy. A big win that night for the Michigan native. The 26-year-old from Michigan has been on quite an interesting ride over the last few years, going from a short tracker struggling for money in Michigan to having a Sprint Cup Series ride with Roger Penske in a relatively short period of time. Along the way, he's won his share of fans and ruffled a few competitors' feathers, too. Here's Brad Keselowski in his own words.
I feel like I'm proving myself every time I get in a race car. And when the day comes, when I don't feel like I have something to prove, that's when I'll lose interest in the sport. I think that there are two different personalities that I carry, and they come out in different ways. I still have that quiet side. In my private life, I don't mind not being the center of attention, but the racing world brings out like that next step in me, that step that is confident, passionate, but you have to know how to let that fuel you. Yeah! If you drove with emotion all throughout a race, trying to get 100% every lap, you're going to knock the wall down at lap 30 and nobody's going to know who you are. They're just going to laugh at you. When I first got into running the Nationwide car, or even in the Truck Series, I got pushed around a lot. I found that when I stopped allowing that to happen, I became more successful. If the penalty for being too passionate is, making a few people mad along the way, I would much rather take that than take the thought of, I didn't care.
Oh, he turns Hamlin. Gets into Hamlin. Look out. Remember, these guys have history from before.
There is always give and take in racing. Will always be, and there's nothing wrong with give and take. But you can't confuse give and take with allowing yourself to be bullied.
But Keselowski's team is mad at the 20 team for swerving into him. A lot of heat right there.
I feel like I have an appreciation for my competitors and a respect for them that sometimes they don't see. If you're always worried about the respect of your competitors, you're never going to be able to run up front, to be able to win, and you're not going to be genuine to yourself or to your team. Of course I care what people think, absolutely. I don't want to make my competitors angry, but at the same side, you have to understand that the only time they're going to be happy with you is when they're beating you.
Big time crash there from Brad Keselowski.
I think this was Carl Edwards' payback for what happened earlier in this race.
There's a part of me that looks at Atlanta and thinks of it as collateral damage to an attitude that I have towards racing.
I think we probably won't have as many run-ins now as we've had in the past, and that's a good thing.
To say that I had it coming any more than any other race car driver, I think is probably not an objective view. We're all looking out for our own well-being. So to go out of your way to ruin somebody else's day is to completely sacrifice your own well-being. When you are willing to tear down your own house just to try to get to somebody else's, that is the epitome of defeat. There is no doubt in my mind that the way that I'm doing things in this sport is the hard way. But I feel like it will pay off. It might not pay off tomorrow or this year or even the year after next. But I feel really good that it will pay off in the long run. To have the fans, approval or enthusiasm makes me feel like it's worth it and adds its own swagger to you. Like, everything along the way that I did made it worth it. And I carry that with me. I think that's been a large part to the confidence that I have. I don't think I want to be like all the other drivers. Somebody said the other day, I like Brad because he's not a vanilla driver. And I thought, man, that's pretty cool. You're right, I'm not vanilla. I'm more like the Neapolitan ice cream. I have a little bit of vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate in me. And you never know which side is going to come out.
It was only 2004 when Brad Keselowski made his first start in a NASCAR National Series race. His Nationwide Series debut came in 2006, not that long ago. The big break was when he got a shot in Dale Jr.'s '88 car in late 2007. From there, it's been a Nationwide Series win, a Sprint Cup win. Fair to say he's now an established contender at NASCAR's top levels.